So before anyone decides to try and do this, I just want to give like a little recommendation. Check out what your state allows you for mufflers and so forth, because some of the states this is actually really illegal and you can be fined quite a bit. But other states it's perfectly fine, and they don't really care as long as you don't get make it too loud, I guess you could say. So definitely before you go ahead and do this, check with your state regulations and stuff, because I don't want y'all getting in trouble for how loud some of these cars will get. So yeah, once you check all that, hope you have fun with your new car. Alright, so I'm going to point out some of the things that you're going to need. You're only going to need 3 real things for the whole setup. Now you're just going to need a ratchet set with a bunch of different sizes and so forth, because you don't know what size it's going to be. The bolt that's under there. There's normally 2 little bolts that stick out with a bunch of nuts on the end of them. They're going to be the ones that you're taking off the exhaust. I'll show you once we get under there. But you're going to need different sizes because you don't really know what size yours is going to be the first time you're doing this. So I suggest you get a bunch of those. And then what you'll need also is a couple of washers. You're going to need washers that are about the size of your bolt. If you don't get them about the size of your bolt, then they're going to shake or they're going to be too tight and you won't be able to put them on there. And then of course you're going to need some sort of jack. I just have a regular jack that's always with me in my car. And you're going to jack it up, and always use chocks no matter what, because you don't really want to have that car fall on top of you. That would be no fun at all. And fourth thing I don't need anymore, because I've done this once or twice on my car, is WD-40, because sometimes the nuts are a little tight and you're not going to be able to get them off. Alright, so what you want to normally do before you actually jack up the car, I've already jacked it up so that I can show you what you're looking for. You're going to try and look for something like this, where it's going to have 2 bolts on either side, and it's going to be connected to your muffler, which connects to your exhaust. To your cat. That's where it's normally going to be. It depends on the car. I just know on my little Honda that I have, that's how it is. This Honda is an Elantra Coupe. It's only a 4-cylinder, and you guys just saw what it sounded like before I actually took the mods on and everything. Now I'm going to take everything down. So the first thing you're going to do, obviously, is take off these bolts right here, or the nuts right here. On most of the cars, the bolts are going to be in place and they're going to be connected to the actual muffler. So what you're going to do is take off these 2 nuts. There's going to be 1 on either side. Sometimes there's 4. Most of the time I've only seen 2 whenever it's set up like this. So you're just going to go ahead and take those off, and then I'll show you what you do after you get those off. If they don't come off, like if you have a really old car, I suggest you spray it down with WD-40, let it sit there for a couple minutes, and then come back and try to do it again. Otherwise, I've had friends that they've snapped this completely off, and that's no fun at all, because then you have to buy a whole new exhaust setup, and those aren't cheap. So yeah, just go ahead and first off take off those. Alright, once you get those 2 bolts off, it's going to look something like this. It's just going to simply be the 2 bolts right here, as you can see. And they just simply go in these holes right here, and that's how the whole thing works. It's different for different cars. One of my friends had like a coil system on it. It was really funky. So you just have to work with what you got and try and figure it out based off of what I've been showing you. But that's how it'll look like whenever it's actually off. Now I want to show you what it sounds like when it's completely, aka straight piped. Alright, so what you just saw was in my car, whenever it's the actual cat exhaust is unhooked from it. So this is a simple 4-cylinder Honda Elantra Coupe. You can actually just look it up if you want to. So it actually sounds pretty, it's a little bit more manly whenever it actually has this off. Of course, it doesn't sound like a Ferrari or GTR or anything like that, but if you just want to make your car sound louder and just a little bit cooler, just have that effects, this is what you can do. So once you actually find or listen to what your car sounds like straight piped, you can go from there and figure out how you want it to sound. And the reason why you want these washers, oops, sorry, didn't mean to hit y'all. The reasons why you want these washers, because these washers are going to go right over those bolts like this. On mine, I used to have 2 on there, and that was perfect for me. It wasn't like crazy loud, but at the same time, it sounded pretty good. You're just gonna go from 2 washers down to 1, and then if one doesn't work, then just don't use it at all, because obviously you don't want a loud exhaust or a crazy loud exhaust. So you're just gonna start with 2 washers, and you're gonna put it on these bolts right here, and be very careful because you don't want these washers falling down into this pipe right here, because it's an absolute pain to try and get them out. So like I said, you're just going to put both of these on here, and you're going to try and close it at the same time. So normally I just go like that, and then I, with my other hand, just go like this. And there you go. And so now you're just going to go like that, and you're actually going to just throw a bolt on there just so it stays in place. You don't want it. Definitely don't want it to come unhinged. So like I said, you're gonna try and find whatever sound best fits you. It's all up to you. I normally just have 2 on there, and then once you get everything back on there, just tighten it all down. Just make sure it's pretty tight, because I had a problem one time when my nuts actually came off. And I had to call my brother to come and help me, because it was straight pipes, which is illegal everywhere in the States. So everywhere you go, it'd be illegal. So just make sure that you tighten them as much as you can. Don't make it crazy tight, or you'll do that and you'll strip your bolt. You don't want to do that. So just get it as tight as you can, and then you're pretty good to go.